Doctors are becoming increasingly concerned about a morning habit many seniors believe is healthy. It's quiet, it feels disciplined, and for years, it's been praised as good for the body. But after the age of 60, this habit may be putting unexpected strain on your heart, your blood flow, and your overall circulation. Today, we're talking about morning fasting. Before we begin, if you care about protecting your heart, your circulation, and your long-term health, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. Your support helps us continue sharing important health insights for seniors, and I truly appreciate it. Now let's begin. Many seniors skip food in the morning because they want to feel lighter, control weight, or follow advice they heard years ago. Some wake up, drink only water or coffee, and wait until late morning or even noon to eat. They believe this gives the body time to rest. But doctors now say that after 60, the body responds very differently to fasting. What once felt energizing may quietly disrupt circulation. After you wake up, your body is already under mild stress. Blood pressure rises naturally in the early morning hours. Heart rate increases slightly to prepare you for the day. This is normal. But when food is delayed, the stress response stays active longer than it should. The nervous system remains on alert. Blood vessels stay slightly narrowed, and blood flow becomes less efficient. Over time, this repeated pattern strains the cardiovascular system. Doctors often notice that seniors who fast in the morning experience colder hands and feet. Some report dizziness when standing up. Others feel mentally foggy or unusually tired in the early hours. These are not signs of weakness. They are signals of reduced blood flow. One major concern is oxygen delivery. When fasting continues too long, blood sugar drops. Low blood sugar triggers stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones cause blood vessels to constrict. When vessels narrow, oxygen struggles to reach vital organs. The heart must work harder to compensate. This increases heart strain without you even noticing it. Another issue is blood thickness. After sleep, blood is naturally more concentrated. Eating in the morning helps restore balance. Without food, blood remains thicker for longer periods. Thicker blood moves more slowly through small vessels. This affects the brain, the heart, and the kidneys. Doctors link this to increased risk of morning heart events in seniors. Morning fasting also interferes with medication effectiveness. Many older adults take blood pressure, heart, or circulation medications early in the day. Taking these medications on an empty stomach can amplify side effects. Dizziness, nausea, and weakness become more common. A light meal helps medications work more smoothly and safely. Let's look closer at why the morning window is so critical for the aging heart. For a younger person, the body has a vast reservoir of metabolic flexibility. They can skip a meal and their liver efficiently releases stored glucose to keep things steady. But as we cross into our 60s and 70s, that metabolic buffer starts to thin out. Our cells become more sensitive to the lack of immediate fuel. When you wake up, your cortisol, the primary stress hormone, is already at its peak for the day. This is known as the cortisol awakening response. If you add the stress of fasting on top of this natural peak, you are essentially telling your body that it is in a state of emergency. This keeps your arteries in a state of tension when they should be transitioning into a relaxed, nourished state. There's also the issue of muscle loss, or what doctors call sarcopenia. After 60, the body breaks down muscle more easily to find the amino acids it needs for vital functions. Morning fasting accelerates this process. Muscle is essential for healthy circulation because your leg muscles in particular act as a second heart. They help push blood back up against gravity to the heart. When muscle mass declines because of morning calorie deprivation, circulation slows. This leads to that heavy, sluggish feeling in the legs and general fatigue later in the day. Some seniors think they're eating enough because they eat large meals later, but timing matters. The body needs early signals of nourishment to maintain balance. Let's talk about the brain. Morning fasting reduces blood flow to the brain, a condition doctors sometimes refer to as temporary cerebral hypoperfusion. This can cause slower thinking, mild confusion, or even a sense of phantom anxiety. Many seniors describe it as feeling off or not quite awake, even hours after getting out of bed. Simply eating a small amount of protein and healthy fat earlier in the day often resolves this within minutes. Another overlooked effect is inflammation. Extended fasting in older adults can actually increase low-grade inflammation in the vascular system. Inflammation damages the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, known as the endothelium. This lining is what controls how well your vessels expand and contract. Once damaged, arteries become stiffer and less responsive. Stiff arteries increase blood pressure and force your heart to work much harder with every single beat. This is why many leading cardiologists are now moving away from recommending strict intermittent fasting for their senior patients. A gentle morning routine supports long-term health. You don't need a heavy, traditional breakfast. Even something small, like a hard-boiled egg, a few walnuts, or a small bowl of Greek yogurt, sends a calming signal to the nervous system. It's a signal that says, food is available, the environment is safe, and the stress response can ease. This allows blood vessels to relax. Heart rate steadies, blood pressure stabilizes. Over several weeks of this consistency, you'll notice circulation improves. Your hands and feet will feel warmer. Your energy will last longer, and most importantly, your heart will experience less daily strain. There is another important reason doctors are paying closer attention to this. It involves the autonomic nervous system. As we age, the balance between the sympathetic, or fight or flight, system and the parasympathetic, or rest and digest system becomes more fragile. Morning fasting keeps the body trapped in that sympathetic dominant state longer than necessary. Instead of transitioning smoothly into a calm, balanced rhythm for the day, the body stays on high alert. Heart rate remains slightly elevated. Blood pressure fluctuates more sharply. Over months and years, this constant low-level physiological stress adds significant wear and tear to the heart muscle. Doctors often notice that seniors who skip breakfast report feeling rushed or on edge inside, even when their schedule for the day is perfectly calm. They describe subtle anxiety, shallow breathing, or a sense of inner tension. This is not emotional stress from your life. It is physiological stress from your cells. The body is waiting for fuel that never arrives, and it reacts by keeping your systems in a state of high-pressure readiness. Another major concern is the combination of hydration and fasting. Many seniors wake up and drink black coffee or tea while continuing to fast. While coffee has its benefits, caffeine further stimulates the nervous system. Without nutrients to buffer the effect, the caffeine causes blood vessels to tighten even more. This combination can sharply reduce blood flow to your extremities and can even increase the risk of morning heart palpitations. Some seniors mistake these sensations for normal signs of aging or too much coffee, but doctors know these patterns are often entirely reversible by simply adding a small, balanced meal. There is also the critical issue of blood pressure variability. Morning fasting increases the likelihood of sudden drops or spikes in blood pressure throughout the day. This makes standing up too quickly much riskier. Falls are a leading cause of injury for older adults, and maintaining stable blood pressure is one of the best ways to prevent them. Eating early helps anchor your blood pressure, keeping it steady throughout the morning hours when you are most active. Let's look at the digestive system's role in heart health. Skipping breakfast disrupts the natural migrating motor complex of your gut. The digestive system slows down, which actually affects how well you absorb nutrients from your lunch and dinner. Even if you eat very healthy meals later in the day, if your system was shut down all morning, the absorption of heart-healthy minerals like magnesium and potassium may be compromised. Poor absorption weakens the very muscles and blood vessels we are trying to protect. Morning nourishment acts like a reset signal for your entire digestive tract, preparing your body to function at its peak all day long. Let's talk about hormones again, because after 60, the balance is incredibly delicate. Morning fasting significantly increases cortisol. While cortisol helps you wake up, having it stay elevated for hours because of fasting comes at a cost. It damages the blood vessel lining and can even interfere with your sleep quality at night. It sounds counterintuitive, but what you eat or don't eat at 8 a.m. can be the reason you can't fall asleep at 10 p.m. This cycle of poor sleep and high stress quietly accelerates cardiovascular aging. Doctors are particularly concerned for seniors who may be dealing with prediabetes or insulin resistance. For these individuals, fasting can cause blood sugar to swing wildly. These sharp rises and falls are like a hammer, hitting the inside of your arteries. Stability is the goal. Stable blood sugar supports smooth, easy blood flow, and that stability must begin the moment you start your day. Another overlooked factor is temperature regulation. Your blood flow is what regulates your internal thermostat. When circulation is compromised by the stress of fasting, many seniors find themselves feeling cold, even in warm environments. This cold sensitivity is a very common complaint, and it almost always improves once a gentle morning routine is established. Doctors emphasize that the goal here is not constant eating or overeating. It is about gentle, strategic timing. A small signal of nourishment is enough. It reassures the brain. It reduces stress hormones. It supports vessel relaxation and improves oxygen delivery to every cell in your body. This is especially vital for anyone with a history of heart disease or stroke, where the blood vessels require consistent, gentle care rather than the shocks that extreme fasting can provide. Many seniors worry that eating in the morning will lead to weight gain. Doctors are now reassuring their patients that this fear is largely unfounded for the over 60 population. In many cases, eating a protein-rich breakfast actually improves metabolism and reduces the urge to overeat or snack on processed foods later in the evening. It supports the maintenance of lean muscle mass, which in turn improves your balance and overall cardiovascular health. If you followed morning fasting because you believed it was the gold standard for health, please know that you are not alone. Medical understanding is always evolving, and we are learning that we must tailor our health habits to our specific stage of life. Listening to your body is the ultimate form of wisdom. Gentle, consistent routines protect the heart far better than rigid, extreme rules. If you've noticed morning weakness, a bit of dizziness when you stand, or consistently cold hands, please consider discussing your morning routine with your healthcare provider. Often, the smallest changes bring about the most profound improvements in how we feel and how our heart performs. If this information has helped you understand your body a little better today, please leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Your experience matters, and your voice might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to recognize a pattern in their own life. If you appreciate this kind of calm, evidence-based health guidance specifically for seniors, please like this video and subscribe to Wellness Roots Journey. Your support truly helps us reach and help more people. As always, this video is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your diet or routine, especially if you are managing heart conditions or blood pressure issues. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of your heart, starting tomorrow morning.